just met today. I have Anna Swanberg from Bentgate Farms. Anna, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we were just talking before I hit record. You have a quiet house, probably a rare instance for you, right?
This is super rare. Yeah. Brian and the girls went up to go help a friend with the floor, and so I'm going to take advantage of these 2 hours and get some stuff done, maybe go for a run without anybody calling me, and it'll be great.
Looking for where you are. Yeah, that we were just saying I have 2 young kids as well, and so I know sometimes that can always be daunting. But the name of the business, Bentgate Farms, obviously it speaks for itself. It's a farm, but I've done a little bit of research on what you guys offer. But why don't you tell me a little bit, like your 90-second elevator speech? How about that?
Ooh, this is not practiced. So we specialize in pasture-raised meat. We do 100% grass-fed beef, lamb, and goat, and then we do organically fed pastured pork and poultry. Pork and poultry are a little different than the ruminants, and that they're not ruminants, and so they can't do just grass. So they do get supplemented with grain. What sets us apart from other grass-fed operations in the county and most of the nation actually is that we rotate our animals every 24 hours, sometimes 12 hours, depending on the season. And what that does is it provides them with basically an all-you-can-eat buffet with like the best forage available. They're not wasting it to trampling and peeing and pooping on it. And so they get up to weight a lot faster. Grass-fed beef especially has gotten a negative connotation for being gamey and tough. And with our rotational system, that's just not the case. They aren't having to walk 5 miles to go eat a sprout, is what some people say. So every step they take, there's just like huge mouthfuls of really protein-rich, nutrient-dense forage. And this, like I said, gets them to weight. We get our beef to weight in 18 to 22 months. And most grass-fed operations are over 2 years. And so that young, tender meat makes a big difference for people.
That's awesome. So how involved, I've done some, you guys have great online content. So for any of you guys, you're obviously watching this on Facebook, go like them on Facebook. They'll be linked below, but they've got great content, including a recent video of you yelling at Brian driving a tractor. That I loved. I watched that 3 times because I think anyone who's ever backed up a boat, backed up a trailer, done anything with a spouse, there's always one out the window going, no, left. How often are the girls hands-on with you on the farm? It seems like quite a lot.
Oh yeah, daily. They have their own like regular chores that they do, and then we do bigger projects like moving the cows, or I don't know, they'll come help with irrigation. Yesterday we were shearing sheep, so they were catching sheep in the stall and bringing them out, and brought them in from pasture, sorted the ram out. I wasn't actually there for this, but because I was moving the sprinkler, but I sent Asha and Libby back to the barn to get the ram sorted out. I guess Libby roped the ram's back leg and restrained him that way, and then Asha pushed the rest of the ewes and lambs back out to pasture. I wish I could have seen that. That would have been awesome.
Wow.
So they're super resourceful and handy. Libby is starting to back the trailer and hook it up and drive the truck and trailer around in the pasture a little bit. She runs the tractor. And yeah, they can do quite a bit. You
need to get like a little body cam on them so you can track what they're doing during the day. Put it, like you said, put it 1.5 speed and see the.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So obviously you guys are producing meat for people to buy. You can do all sorts of different farm share options. Can you talk a little bit about that, about how people can get the product, what their options are, kind of size-wise? Do you have to have a massive, stand-up freezer for your supply, or can they do shares? How does that work?
Yeah, we have a couple different options. The bulk of our business is what is called custom slaughter. So people buy a half or a whole animal. We do quarter beef, but everything else is half or whole. And then what happens is it's slaughtered here on farm. We don't like to stress the animals out by hauling them to a USDA slaughter facility, which is hours and hours away. And then the sides of meat are taken to the butcher shop, where then people call in their cut order. And the shop is great about helping people decide what kinds of cuts best fit their family's cooking style. So that's the bulk of our business. And then we also partner with Chai's Farms, and we offer a ground meats farm share. That's coming up. We have shares open until Friday. We're going to close it down on Friday. And what that is in June, early July, you'll get 10 pounds of ground beef. And then in September, you would get 10 pounds of ground pork. And then again, in October, you'd get another 10 pounds of ground beef. And the reason we decided to do that is there are families who don't eat a lot of meat or who don't have the space for a big freezer. And so it was just a way to get our product to families who were interested in it, but didn't want to make that big leap. And then the third option is that we also occasionally do a ground beef cow. That's also coming up. And so we just take a cow and split it a bunch of ways. And the easiest way to do is just sell it in 20-pound boxes. And again, that's just a way for people to get a smaller quantity. 30 pounds of meat takes up about roughly 1 cubic square feet of space. So we have people put a quarter cow in like their refrigerator freezer, if they're careful about, not buying things in bulk at Costco. And then you can just kind of go up from there. So, yeah.
I think that I love that idea of the kind of the 10-10-10. We've done a 20-pound pack from a local farm previously, and it takes, for a family, unless you're a big family and my kids are growing, I mean, it took us quite a while to go through the 20 pounds of ground beef. So I kind of like that idea of 10 beef, then 10 pork, then 10 beef. It allows folks who, like you said, who don't have a big stand-up freezer, don't have the room to get to sample and then be enticed to go and get the stand-up freezer because they want only to eat your product, right?
Yeah, so last year was our first year with the ground meats farm share, and we've had some people convert. So yeah.
I can bet, yeah. Tell me about, I'm a business owner and I have vowed that I would start blogging at some point in time to help kind of tell our company's story, but I have not. Tell me about how you got into that, because again, I like to do my research. I read most of your recent blog posts. So tell me about how you kind of pulled the Band-Aid off and just started that.
It's actually a reverse blog. So it's just social media posts that I put on my, and how did I get into that? When we partnered with Chai's, and we're meeting about marketing, it was forced upon me, I guess, to jump into social media. And so I've kind of run with it. I'm still figuring it out. When I redid the website recently, Fetch MC, they're actually out of Chicago. They're a great company. And with actually all the recent news coming up, they are a minority-owned company. And they helped us redo the website. And their suggestion was to occasionally, not all the time, but make a blog post and then push it to social media so that people visited your site, because the whole goal is to visit your site.
Right.
Like so many things in my life, I have lots of improvements I'd like to make on that, but oh man, it's hard. As you know, it's so hard to do it all, to do the marketing and the website development and the email campaigns and then run the business and then homeschool the kids and then don't
stop there. Well, I got to commend you, because with the revamped website, you spared absolutely no expense with getting a high-priced model to show off some of your family gear. I was poking through the website, and look at that. There's Mr. Swanberg himself. What a guy, huh?
I know.
What a good sport that he was willing to model the family gear. I love that.
Yeah, look at that, head to toe practically.
I just thought I would make sure that he got in on this as well. So you can go to the website. People can go to the website. That's where they can find out about the different farm shares, about how to order. They can also order your merch. I see you wearing, I have an Agnew sweatshirt as well, but also the hat. You guys have all sorts of cool gear that people can buy. And if they want to learn more, they go to the website.
Yeah. And I'm actually working on getting soap. We render tallow from the beef and then make bar soap out of it. So I'm working on getting that up. And restocking hats from Bagley Creek Outfitters, a local business here in town that does our hats. So yeah, there should be some more stuff up soon.
Look at you shouting out all those local businesses too. I
Right.
love that. It's all at the heart. I wanted to commend you. I will encourage people. This is a teaser about your blog, and I did see it was a Facebook post as well. But there's a blog post that you put called The Ands. And at the very end, you used an abbreviation, which I'm going to use for probably the rest of my life. It was FFT, and we won't get into it. You can go and read the blog post, but a lot of these moments that we're going through together as a community, it's an FFT type of moment. So I encourage you to go read. Thank you for sharing a new one with me. That was great.
Yeah, I got that from Brene Brown, and I listened like halfway through the podcast, and she kept going FFT, and I'm like, God, I'm such an idiot. I know I'm not into pop culture, but I'm like not understanding what this is about. And then finally she explained what it was, and I was like, oh yeah, I need that in my life.
This is a family-friendly show, so we're keeping it FFT, but I would encourage you to go check out their Facebook page. The links are there, and it's on the website as well. And I will just also highlight something that's near and dear to me is, we try our best in a small town, especially that has a backbone in a rural community. Support your local businesses. When you see all this stuff on the news about, COVID outbreaks at these meat packing plants and all this stuff, and oh my gosh, there's a shortage on meat. There's a lot of meat out there. You can just go to different places. It doesn't have to be bought at Costco or at Walmart. I mean, there's a lot of ways that we'll be able to be a more sustainable community by supporting businesses like yours.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I'm excited to see people turning more towards local producers. And to be honest, what's happening in the big long food chain that we have in America is what producers like myself and Chai's and other places in Nash's have been saying for a while. Like, this is a fragile link, or a fragile system, and by shortening that chain, there's just fewer things that can go wrong. So I hope that people see us as a long-term solution and not just a short-term band-aid to their not being able to have a barbecue in July or something. So,
well, and like you said, a lot of times once you taste something that's a little bit done differently than the mainstream stuff, you acquire a taste for that. It's kind of hard to go back, is what we found.
Yeah, we get a lot of, obviously we only eat our meat, but we get a lot of feedback like that. Brian cooks burgers at the station quite often, and they can smell, they're like, ooh, you brought your beef tonight. And he's like, yep.
Yeah, that's a great homie hookup to have him cooking for the station guys, right? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking a little bit of time. I'll let you go get to your run. Make sure to get a Sharpie marker ready. You're going to get lots of autograph requests now that you've been on the show. So, you'll be a big time celebrity now.
Cool. Thank you. We'll try to squeeze it in.
Thanks for joining in.
All right. Thank you. Nice to meet you, James.
All right. You too.